And good morning, everyone. Welcome to This Day.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, and we're going to take you back in time in 2012, so not that far back in time.
All right, very good. And on our show today, our security director, Tim Moy, is going to be here today, and he's talking about Earthquake Expo that is coming up soon. And his guest is going to be, she is with, I call it ham radio. So it's actually the Laguna Woods Village Amateur Radio and Association or Club. And it's going to be really cool because he's talked about this in the past, how, you know, when something happens, those ham radio operators, they're the ones that can really get the word out. Now, we also have Wendy Miller on from RE/MAX, and she's bringing along another RE/MAX agent, Richard Green. And there's a great car show coming up. It's the concert and car show this time around, and this is from the Car Club, and we have a guest on who's going to talk all about that. That's coming up in about a month at the end of September.
All right, well, we have no meetings today, but oh, look, a picture of my vacation. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's this day in history in 2012. NASA's Mars rover Curiosity beamed home the first human voice ever sent from another planet, as well as some spectacular new images of its Martian environment. The one-ton Curiosity rover broadcast a greeting from NASA Administrator Charlie Bolden, who congratulated the mission team for getting the huge robot to Mars safely. While the significance of the audio accomplishment is largely symbolic, NASA officials hope it presages a more substantial human presence on the red planet down the road, which of course, as we know, has been happening. With this, we have another small step that's being taken in extending the human presence beyond Earth and actually bringing that experience of exploring the planets back a little closer to all of us, said Curiosity program executive Dave Lavery, invoking the famous line the late astronaut Neil Armstrong uttered from the surface of the moon on July 20th, 1969. So there you go, Curiosity, and there they are digging up Mars. But you know, when I looked at that one picture, Ken, it just looked like the desert right behind us.
It does. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to plant tomatoes or something, you know. I don't know.
Or potatoes.
Yeah, or potatoes. That might work because they're underground. Who knows?
Yes.
All right, our weather over the next few days, well, we're going to be a bit cooler. At our house this morning, we're 5 degrees cooler than what we were yesterday. And we still have a little of that humidity left, but that's really some of the marine layer that's coming in. There's a little bit of that, and it will be over the next few days. I didn't really put it there because it's going to dissipate, should dissipate fairly quickly. As we get to the weekend, the Labor Day weekend, we'll see those temperatures bump back up. And I think the humidity will start to come in once again, maybe Saturday, for sure on Sunday, and definitely for Monday. So we're kind of going down a little bit, then going back up again with both the heat and the humidity, but not too bad for the next few days here. You know, towards the end of August. That's nice temperatures that we're having. Let's look around Orange County and elsewhere, and the beaches are holding steady in the upper 70s. Elsewhere, mid to upper 80s, and Palm Springs also holding out 110. I think they're about the same yesterday. So we got a little bit of that fog in the morning, but it's kind of nice. It's coming in the evening, and it's keeping us cool, which is really good. But again, as we get to next weekend, that humidity and heat should be back. I don't think quite as strong as we had over the last few days, but we'll see. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Low payments? Yes, we can. Low financing for all types of credit? Yes, we can. Capistrano Toyota features 10 acres of new and certified pre-owned Toyotas, plus many used cars priced below $10,000. When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Exit the 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano.
Save now at LA Carpet & More's 50% off sale.
Buy direct and save 50% on countertops and 50% off kitchen cabinets.
Plus, get 5 years 0% financing.
LA Carpet, #1 for you.
Save now at LA Carpet & More's 50% off sale.
Buy direct and save 50% on countertops and 50% off kitchen cabinets.
Plus, get 5 years 0% financing.
LA Carpet, #1 for you.
Envision, the eye doctor's #1 choice.
We are a community of surgeons and optometrists dedicated to helping you live better by seeing better.
We offer advanced lens options to fit your lifestyle. We also offer the latest in laser technology for cataract surgery. We are Envision, the eye doctor's #1 choice.
With clear vision, all things are possible. To schedule your appointment, contact us at 866-599-2740.
I had been with another hospice for my husband, Ed. After about 2 months, I thought, they're not doing much for me. So I went to the computer and brought up the list of hospices, and there was OC. Their response was immediate. They did everything. They had all their ducks in the row, and that's what I was looking for. It was comforting till the very end. And then at the very end, the last 3 days, it was continuous care, and nobody ever left him.
Welcome back. Well, we have the security update with Tim Moy, and then we also have a guest, and her name is Grace Stencil, and she is with the Ham Radio Club, right?
That's correct.
Well, welcome. Well, we're going to
Thank
talk
you.
a little about how safety and security goes sort of hand in hand, no pun intended. But so let's start with you, Tim. You've got to talk about an expo that's coming up.
We do. Matter of fact, it was kind of interesting how this came about. Grace, through the Ham Radio Operators Club, approached us and our disaster preparedness team and said, hey, I've got an idea for you. I made contact with this individual, and we'd like to bring disaster preparedness in and see if the ham radios with disaster preparedness can partner in an expo. Grace, what else can you tell us about that?
Well, I can tell you, I'll be happy to tell you about the radio club, if I may.
Yeah.
We have 50 licensed amateur radio operators in our club. And even though we're a club, our main concern is disaster preparedness.
Right.
And so if there is a major disaster and normal communication procedures go down, like cell phone towers and things like that.
Right.
Amateur radio operators are maybe our only source of communication during an emergency.
So does each person have their own radio in their home?
We have more than one radio in our home.
Oh.
And we have portable radios, and some
Okay.
of us have stationary radios, so we can
Okay.
deal either outside our homes or in our homes, either way.
So may I ask, how do you communicate with security when you do that?
Yeah, great question. So the ham radios are a part of our disaster preparedness task force. So in the event of a major disaster, and let's say our first responders are not available, the fire and sheriff are elsewhere, and our power is down, what have you, our ham radio operators will be situated throughout the community. As a matter of fact, they're even attached to our emergency operations center.
Oh.
So yeah, so we've got a full protocol in place to use our ham radio operators with our good neighbor captains who are bringing reports in for potential damage and injuries. So Grace and her team do an incredible job for us, and they are available. They live here in the village. And they're just available for any type of emergency response.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes,
That's great.
and we take it very seriously, of course. Even though we're a club and we have a good time, we take the emergency training very seriously.
Right.
And every Thursday, we go through what we call a radio net. So we practice on our radios, communicating with each member to make sure our equipment is working and that we are doing the proper procedures. That's done every week, every Thursday. We do that.
Okay.
We work, of course, in concert with Tim's Disaster Preparedness Task Force,
Right.
the building captain, the Good Neighbor building captains, as well as emergency groups throughout Orange County.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So not just here.
outside of, yes, we have the capability of doing that.
Okay.
We also participate in the Great California Shakeout, and we participate with the disaster preparedness team with all their programs.
Okay.
So our goal for the club is to heighten community awareness, and I believe that the Earthquake Expo will help achieve that goal.
Okay.
So I personally would like to ask those who are watching to join us on September 14th.
Okay,
and
well,
I'm
let's
gonna
jump
turn
right
it
to
back
that and talk
over
about
to-
what you guys have there.
Good.
And are you going to have examples? Are you going to have the radios there so people can see them, maybe?
Sure.
That's a great.
I've just committed now, haven't I?
I think it's a great idea.
I've just committed you to that. Sorry.
No, it's a perfect idea. We have to turn them off, though, I think. It'll be very
Yeah.
noisy.
Well,
but-
just to actually show people,
Well, show
because I don't know
people.
many people
You know,
what
let
they
me
look
just
like.
mention that in Clubhouse 1, we actually have a radio room where all of our radio equipment is there, our antennas and things, and I would like to invite people to stop by.
All right, excellent.
Clubhouse 1.
Right,
Okay.
there you go.
All right,
Yeah.
so the expo is on Saturday, September 14th, and what are some of the things that are going to be there?
Right. So, I mean, the timing couldn't be more better. Let's take a look at what took place back on July 4th and 5th, right? We had the Ridge Crest earthquakes, 6.4, I think it was a 7.1.
Yeah.
They rattled that area about 200 miles north of here that we felt here in the village, throughout Southern California. So, in this expo, we want to just really promote community awareness, preparedness, response. We've got some great presenters. We've got a gentleman by the name of Mark Benthian, and
Okay.
he is he's an earthquake expert through the University of Southern California. He's with the the Earthquake Country Alliance. So this guy's got some great background, and of course we're going to bring in somebody from Donna Boston's team, if not Donna Boston herself. She is our emergency manager for the County of Orange. So if we have a major disaster here in Orange County, our emergency operations center for the entire county activates, and the person who coordinates that is Donna Boston.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, she is our go-to gal for any type of emergency response here in the county. And why that is important to us here in the village is maintain that relationship with her, because we know that they're going to be prioritizing resources at the county level. We just don't want her to forget about Laguna Woods Village, right? And some of our needs and very specific needs with our elderly community here.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, I mean, for people to come out and meet her might give them some comfort knowing that she's very capable, like you said, and making sure that they don't forget about you.
Absolutely, and we're going to have some tables here as well. Mark has got something set up. I think it is a passport, right?
It's a passport.
Each person is going to get a passport, and then they go from table to table, get their passport stamped, and each table is going to provide some type of information that we can learn from to better prepare for an earthquake. And then that passport goes into, of course, the raffle.
Oh, there's a raffle.
There's a raffle.
Oh, nice.
Right.
What's the big prize?
It's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret. Okay. All right.
Disaster preparedness will bring a few items.
Oh, good.
And then
they have their big backpacks.
And then each
stuff.
table vendor there as well will be bringing some items to have in the raffle. But some basic things. How to secure your space, how to plan to be safe, organizing for disaster, supplies, minimizing financial hardship, what to do afterwards. Are there some insurances that you should take a look at? Here in the village, that's somewhat unique as well, depending on which mutual you live in.
Okay.
And then reconnecting, restoring after an earthquake. And it's just not here. It's how do you reconnect with your family? How do you? Who are your emergency contacts? And we thought about all those things. So they're going to open our eyes up a little bit. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we've got to talk about that earthquake cottage.
Oh yeah, there's an earthquake cottage. I saw this. I'm like, what is that?
Right.
I'm going to go in there and have a heart attack.
No, not exactly. It's called a quake cottage, and it's a trailer that you can go into, and I think they've got these comfortable chairs you're not going to fall out of, and it's going to simulate an 8.0. Now,
Who wants to do that?
I do.
You do?
I do too.
Gosh.
I'm going to tell you, I want to go on that.
I don't know, man. That 6.1 in Northridge was enough for me in the 70s. Who needs to go in an 801? But nonetheless, that'll be fun to just kind of get the feel for it.
It
right?
will. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be interested.
Yeah.
I got a lot of calls where people have never experienced an earthquake,
at
which is
all.
amazing sometimes living in California. But they're all excited about going into that quake cottage.
So I think that quake cottage is going to promote the fact how important it is to secure your manor. You know, bookshelves, what have you, that could easily fall. You've got to be able to secure those type of things and similar objects.
And some of these large TVs, you know, that they may not be mounted on the wall. They're sitting on a thing, but they're just going to topple right over. So you have to be careful.
All your trophies.
Right. We've talked about
all of my Emmys.
There you go.
Yes.
We've talked about identifying a safe location. For those who cannot get under a table or a desk, we want them to take or identify a safe location in their manor where there's no bookshelves, there's no windows, there's no pictures that could fall on them. You can't get under a desk or a table. You want to secure yourself in an area where you're least likely to get harmed.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha. And then one last thing you have is a documentary. Which year is this for the Northridge one?
Right. It'd be the most recent one. That was the most devastating one. I forget the exact year that was.
Okay.
But
so where do they see that?
At
this event.
Right.
Oh, I see.
And so they did a documentary on that, along with many of the victims' interviews, the first responder interviews. I think that's going to be very informative for our residents to take a deeper dive into the Northridge incident. Maybe they can take away some nuggets. Hey, if that were to ever happen here,
it could.
How am I going to survive?
Exactly. And you don't ever know. You just never know. We can't predict these things and where it's going to be and where the epicenter is going to be.
And the one nice thing about this documentary is it talks more about the heroes that were not first responders. It discusses the first responders, but the people that are around you that might come up to your place and save you and get you out and help you. And I think that's kind of, it was incredible to see
neighbors
that
helping neighbors.
Grace, that's a great point. So here we are, also trying to promote our good neighbor captains. You know, neighbors who would step up, don a vest in the event of an emergency, check on their neighbors, fill out that form, get it to our emergency operations center. If you're interested in something like that, you know, we would encourage you to get a hold of security, and we'll get you signed up.
Good. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you both so much. It's very nice to have you on. Very nice to meet you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And don't forget to bring the radio.
There you go.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right. And remember that event is on September 14th, and it sounds like it'll be pretty good. You guys can check out an 8.0 earthquake. We'll be right back.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
Individual care, specialized care. At Harvard Eye Associates, we know you want to look as young on the outside as you feel on the inside. Here, our aesthetic specialists provide expert services that can help rejuvenate your natural beauty. That's safe, effective, with the most natural looking results. Come join the Circle of Care at Harvard Eye Associates, where the future of vision is today.
Have you been struggling to hear in larger groups? Well, that can be very frustrating. We do have solutions for that at Hearing Remedy. In particular, these tiny hearing aids that can help people hear better in many, many noisy situations. Please give us a call. We have these on sale for a limited time, only $895 for a hearing aid. Call, make an appointment for your free hearing exam, and get on the road to better hearing.
Your body is made for work, play, and adventure, all the things that make life amazing. But when pain gets in the way, turn to Hoag Orthopedic Institute to get you back to doing the things you love. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we're experts at getting you out of pain and back to golf, running, or yoga, whatever makes you, you.
Welcome back. Well, we have RE/MAX here, and we have Wendy Miller, who I know you are very familiar with, and we also have a guest, Richard Green. Well, welcome both of you. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
So, you know, real estate obviously is a hot topic these days. It's like up and down and all over, and it's kind of like, where are we at right now, right? And I know that for you, you have certain things that you really want people to know about, you know, buying a home or selling a home.
Exactly.
So what are some of the things that you think they should know?
Well, I did a commercial that everyone has seen, I'm sure, and it's one of the 7 selling tips for seniors, and that was hiring the right real estate professional.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, you want to find an agent, a realtor, that really listens to you, your wants, your needs, your desires. It's highly important to make sure that you listen to people and what they want, and not tell them what they want and what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Might be frustrating and irritating at times. And also choose someone who specializes, you know, in your area. So say we're in Laguna Woods, you want a senior real estate specialist, you want someone who understands the ins and outs, you know, especially in this community, because it's quite different, as everyone knows. So, and Richard?
Well, one of the more important things when you're setting that up, as we talked about, is to contact the HOA, have an inspection done of your property. Don't just ask them questions, but they will actually come out to your condo or co-op.
Mm-hmm.
They will walk through, they will have a list of everything that has been changed and what hasn't been changed. Because there are a lot of things, and most people don't know that they can have their countertops replaced. They might be able to have their hood replaced in the kitchen, or it may be the bathtub that may need replacing.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are still the responsibility of the HOA if they've never been changed before.
Oh, interesting. Now that is something totally different than outside of a Laguna Woods situation,
Yes.
right? Because, so how do they go about doing that? Is that something that they would do once they found the place they wanted to buy, or is it once they've made an offer, or how does that work?
The most important thing is when they've made the decision that they are going to move and they want to move, they should contact the HOA and say, you know, I'm looking at possibly moving, and or I'm looking at doing some renovations. I'd like to have the inspection done. The inspection, there is a charge, but it's a very nominal fee, and they can contact the HOA for those prices.
So that's when you're selling your home.
Exactly,
Not for when you want to buy something.
Now, when you're looking to purchase a home, there's a pre-inspection done at that time as well.
Oh, I see.
And you know, they'll be able to look at that at the same time. So when you're purchasing a home, the same thing is going to be done as well.
Okay, so when someone comes to you and, you know, they're interviewing you, because obviously they have various people they're going to talk to, is that something that you point out because you have specialized in the area?
Yes, definitely. I definitely let them know that, you know, first things first, you want to have someone who understands. Like I said, you need to know the rules, the regulations, and if you can qualify to live here, because, you know, you do have to have a certain amount of money in the bank and a certain amount of money coming in on a monthly basis, well, yearly basis.
Right.
So, so that's the beginning. When you're selling, it's also important to make sure that you do repairs. Because when people are searching for a home, they're most of the time, if not always, looking for move-in ready.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you repair and refresh. You do painting here and there. You replace knobs that may have fallen off or loose. You also want to maybe employ your family and friends to come and help you. You want to minimize all of your furniture as well, because you want them to be able to picture themselves in your home with their furniture and their family and pictures. So if you have, say, a lot of furniture that's heirlooms from the family, maybe contact your children, your grandchildren, and brothers, sisters, and maybe say, hey, it's all for you.
Right, just kind of
Congrats.
simplify.
Yeah,
Simplify,
or
right,
also
right.
if you have too much and you can't get rid of it, just maybe put it in the garage, put it in a storage unit,
Yeah.
just for the time being during that process. Yeah.
I would agree. Sometimes you walk in and everything's too cluttery. It doesn't feel so good, and you can't see beyond that. I'm a
Exactly.
very visual gal. It's hard to see beyond it. Now I know you have something. Just speaking of visual,
Yes.
you've got a 3D. Tell me how this technology is working.
It's a new technology by a company called Matterport. They brought it out, and it is a total virtual tour that you can actually walk through the property on the computer, and you can look, you can zoom in, you can move it around, or you can just play the video and just watch it as it pans through the condo or co-op.
So
as well.
So are you using like a mouse or the keyboard pad? Oh, here it's right here. We're showing
It's
them now. So.
Actually, right behind it does it two different ways, as you see here with the little
isn't that
circle.
cool?
He's actually walking through himself. There is a way that you can also just push a button and it'll just play as well, but it doesn't give you the detail that you can do this way. This way you can actually move it yourself and zoom in, and as you can see here, this one here has been totally remodeled. The client actually had had the whole place redone. I was actually the project manager because he lives in Portland, Oregon. So one of the things that I do for people, especially when they're not living here, or let's say a family member has passed and they want to sell the property, I will project manage all the renovations for them, and it's free of charge. It's in my commission, and so it's no additional for them.
That's great. It's a beautiful property. If any of you have an opportunity, go check it out.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's Avenida Sevilla. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now, how do people get a hold of you guys when they want to, give you a call and ask you about everything we just talked about?
Well, with me, Wendy Miller. Hello.
Okay.
You can contact me by text or give me a call. My phone number is 949-294-1022. You can see in the screen below. And also you can email me, wendygirl214@gmail.com. Or just say hi while I'm driving through the neighborhood. I love it. I'm always at the Olive Garden, so I'll be there, probably around 1 o'clock, so I'll see you there.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, thank you both very much. I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, my goodness. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
Shoot. I'm Wendy Miller, your Smiley Realtor with RE/MAX and your Laguna Woods real estate specialist. I'm here today with the first of my 7 home selling tips for seniors. Some seniors prefer to rely on the real estate agent who has sold the most properties in their neighborhood. Others seek the most often recommended from family and friends. The right professional will ask questions about your future goals. He or she will help you decide upon a realistic listing price and answer all of your questions promptly before asking you to sign a listing agreement. Give me a call and I will help you make the right move.
Welcome to Village Television. I'm Lisa Hart.
And I'm Ken Goldenberg.
We're the hosts of ThisDay Morning Show.
And today we'd like to help you navigate our YouTube channel where you can watch all your favorite Village Television programs.
First, you will want to open your browser and in the search bar, type in YouTube. Or if you are using Google, you can go to the upper right-hand corner and click on the 9 dots, which make a square, and this will provide a pull-down menu. Choose YouTube. Upon YouTube opening, there will be a search bar for you to type in Village Television.
Select the Village Television logo or select the words Village Television. Once you are on the Village Television's YouTube channel, you will have a few options: videos, playlists, channels, discussion, about, and search. To watch videos, it's best to know which show you want to watch. Click on the playlist.
Here you will choose which show you'd like to watch. For example, if you want to watch this day, select this day. You can scroll down and look for the video you are looking for. Or if you know what the subject is about, you can use the search button, which is the magnifying glass, and type in the subject.
To subscribe to the channel, you can click on the subscribe button and click on the bell. To view all governance videos, including Third, United, GRF, or VMS reports, go to the Laguna Woods Village website, and then in the upper left-hand corner, click on the YouTube logo. And once YouTube opens, you can use the search icon for the specific meeting or report you are looking for.
Thank you for watching, and we hope this has helped you find all the fun shows and videos at
Village Television. Well, coming up at the end of September is a real fun event. It's the Back in Time Concert and Car Show, and that is being put on with the Laguna Woods Village Car Club. And I'd like to welcome a couple guests today. From that club, we have Randy Scott, who's the Vice President. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Great to have you back. I know you were here last year.
Thank you.
And we have Luke Lukic, and you are the car show chairman. So
That is correct.
You got all the work, right?
That's a handful.
All right. Well, let's first talk about the car club. And I was surprised, you were telling me out there, it's only been around for 4 years, and I kept thinking it's been around a lot longer because we've had car shows a lot longer.
Yes, I think in previous years, I think the rec department did the car shows for primarily for individuals outside the village. And about 4 years ago, Brad Friesen, who's our president, and I were talking, and he started the car club about 4 years ago. And we were kind of amazed there wasn't a car club before, because Southern California, the classic car capital of the world, didn't have one. So we started it. He did. And we have about 50 members right now, and about 15 or 20 of us have classic collector cars that will certainly be in the car show this year as well. So we have that, and typically we go to kind of schedule a lot of car shows that we attend, like San Clemente Shops every Saturday. They have about 300 cars.
Wow.
Everything from Lamborghinis to Ford Falcons and everything in between. You know. So
and this is down at the outlet stores?
Yeah,
you're
the
talking
outlet
about?
store,
Okay,
the
which
shops,
has plenty of room.
Oh yes, yes. They have, it's on Saturday morning, and they end at about 10 o'clock, so that then they have to make room for the shoppers. So we also, like Dana Point's coming up September 22nd, the big car show in downtown Dana Point. We go to also to RCC Motors over in Irvine. They have a car show about every other month. It's a really big event. So we go a lot. We went to the Orange County Fairgrounds for this year in March for the LA County or the LA City car show, and they had about probably 500 or 600 cars there. So it was.
So there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, and a lot of it's very local too. The nice thing, and we went to Crevier Auto Museum over in Costa Mesa.
I've been there.
It's a great car show. The Lion Museum. A couple of weeks ago, Marconi in Tustin had their 25th anniversary, meet the founder, and there was probably 500 or so attendees, and probably maybe 150 cars. Here again, all kinds of collector cars. Even some of the Indy and Formula One race cars were there too. So, along with those, so it was quite an event. We had a great time there.
Do you find that people that collect cars in general, and we're talking about classics and all, sort of go back and want to collect something of their era, meaning maybe when they were growing up, or perhaps they look back at a car that their mom or dad had and look back at that fondly and.
Absolutely, Ken. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's we always remember our first car, and sometimes first experience in a car, and so sometimes we want to get back, especially after our kids are raised and gone and off doing great. So we have this time and interest in doing that. So that's a lot of us will have that. I have a 1978 Corvette that was an Indy 500 pace car that I was at that race along with many other races. So it brings back some really good memories from that era. Plus, it's a fun car to drive as well, you know. So, but you definitely want to look back in that and remember our first car and first experience in certain cars and what we did to those and during that era. So it's definitely a motivating factor.
It makes you wonder the cars of today, that will people have the same feeling about 30 years from now? In other words, will they look back at 2019 whatever and go, oh yeah, I want to collect that car? And it's kind of funny. I don't think they will, because I think they're made different today than they were years ago, and you can still find parts for all these. And I kind of wonder now, we change things so often, and the technology that's in the car, who knows if that would even work 30 years from now. So it's kind of interesting how the take on it today. It is. Okay, Luke, you got like I said, you got the big chore, not that you don't, but you're organizing this car show. And again, this is happening on September 28th, excuse me, at Clubhouse 2 Lawn. And you sent along, the form and all. You're still accepting cars for this?
Yes,
are you getting
we are.
going? You're thinking you're going to probably have about 50?
Yeah, we kind of laid it out, and looks like we're going to have room for 50 cars.
Okay.
That's kind of our goal. We have a lot of people that are interested in bringing a lot of different types of cars. I've been approached by the RV club, and they want to put a vehicle in there. So now I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put them exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll work on it. It's something that can happen. But we'll have all kinds of different types of cars, and everybody's welcome.
This is for people here, but also outside the community who can
all
bring in their
residents are welcome to show their cars, and it doesn't have to be a classic per se. If they have a car that's interesting, unusual, they're more than welcome. They can just fill out a form. The forms are at all the clubhouses.
Okay.
It has all the registration information there, and just send it to me, and we'll have a spot ready for them when they show up.
And we should say that the cars they have to have some sort of proof of insurance.
Yes, well, they have to be insured and safe.
Yeah.
We don't want a car that's that has issues that could cause a problem.
Right.
So we want to make sure that when they fill out the registration form, that they've got to make sure that the car is insured and safe to
and
drive.
is there a fee?
No, there's no fees for the show. It's
wow.
It's a free show.
Very good.
All the residents and their guests, if they have a friend from out of town or they have a neighbor or someone that's interested in showing their car, they're more than welcome to show the car. Just fill out the form and we'll call it good.
And this concert this year, you were having folks who are pretty much a tribute band to Huey Lewis and the News.
That is correct, and
which is appropriate because a lot of their songs.
Yeah, we try to make that kind of fit in, and I know I had talked to Laura. She's in kind of charge of that, and she did manage to track down a DeLorean, that particular era.
Yeah,
which will be there, which will be kind of interesting. So I think people they can kind of relate to the DeLorean type thing and Huey Lewis at that particular time. So I think it'll be a fun show.
And you said you have a '78 Vet, right?
Yes,
the pace car,
right?
Which I remember
when
that came out. And now you were telling me you have cars in Arizona. Are you going to bring any here?
No, I'm not bringing any here because they're in another state. But I also have a '74 Corvette convertible.
Okay.
It's a numbers matching car, and that means that the engine is for that car. It wasn't changed somewhere along the line, but that's in another state. And I've had other cars over the years. So
I know, watching over the years, every once in a while I watch the car shows, Barrett Jackson and all those. We were talking how it was out in Orange County for a few years, and the numbers matching is very important because it shows that this car is authentic, meaning everything is original to the vehicle.
Yeah, that's a great selling feature.
Yeah.
That people who are really avid collectors, they look for that. They want a numbers matching car. If you're interested in just driving a car because it's a '66 Corvette and you don't care, well, you don't care.
Right.
But the actual collector, the enthusiast, this is what he really looks for. This is the holy grail, to make sure all those numbers are correct.
Yeah, and watching some of those shows, I learned that you could have a car that you could just see looks like heck. It needs a whole lot of work. They basically have to push it on stage. But if everything is original and those numbers are matching, forget it. I mean, that thing's going to have high bids on it.
That's very valuable.
Well, you know, one thing too with like with my Corvette too, a lot of even things, simple things like power steering pumps, because those are date stamped from the factory.
Oh, okay.
So instead of replacing a power steering pump or even an alternator, you want to have it rebuilt, which is a little more expensive than just having it replaced. So all of the other components on the engine are usually date stamped from the factory. So you want to make sure that it gets rebuilt in the inside instead of just being replaced. So that actually adds to it. But of course, the matching numbers with the engine and chassis is critical too.
Yeah.
But it all adds up too to make it even more valuable.
Yeah, it's an inexpensive hobby for sure.
Yeah, it is.
It can be.
Yeah. So you're hoping to get about 50 cars, which it sounds like you will. And again, this is happening Saturday, September 28th at Clubhouse 2. It's a free event. It's a lot of fun for everyone. Tell me how, if people are interested in joining the car club, do they need to have a classic car? Can they just be interested?
Just have an interest in cars, and we share a lot of stories at our car club meetings about the car that got away or the first car, and those experiences we've had with several cars. So, no, just have an interest in cars and be a car enthusiast to some level. We do have our meetings. So the next meeting is September 11th at Clubhouse 2 in the Los Olivos room, and at 7 o'clock in the evening. So we have that, and just stop in and chat with some of us and see if you have an interest in joining. It's very informative. We do a lot of events and schedule a lot of shows and museums and things that we go to as a group, and so we have a lot of fun with it, and it's a great experience, and we have that common ground. So it's a nice event.
So I have to ask, Luke, what was your first car? Do you remember?
I remember I was going to college, it was a 61 Chevy Impala. I remember that.
All right. What about you?
I had a 53 Chevy automatic, 210, 6-cylinder, just no power, but I somehow made it look cool, I think. So
there you go. Well, I had a 1974 Mazda RX-2 rotary engine.
Wow, yeah, those are very
went
nice.
through a lot of breaks with that one, didn't you?
Yeah. But the rotary,
they're notorious for that.
those rotaries were great engines. They really were.
Exactly.
All right, Saturday, September 28th, Clubhouse 2, and it's the car show is 4 to 6, and then the concert is 6 to 8. So you've got a whole afternoon, evening of fun, and it's a great time for it. I think everyone will enjoy it. You got a great crowd last year.
Yes, we did. It was a great crowd. I think we had about 300 or 400 attendees, so it was great for the concert and the show. So looking forward to it.
All right. Great to see you.
Okay.
Come on again.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You take care.
Take care.
Be back.
Okay.
What lies inside all of us is more than data. It's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. We ask for 1 million individuals to come forward and stand on this landmark in history. All of us are different, and it's those very differences that will lead to answers for generations to come.
Welcome back. I have Michael Litchie here, who is the Manager of Communications for the Pacific Surfliner. And he's going to tell us all about the engines and the new trains and also some amazing specials that they have. Welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Really a pleasure to be here.
I was really excited to learn about the Pacific Surfliner and that there's a lot of new things going on. Why don't you give me a kind of an overview for those that don't know?
Definitely, yeah. So for those who aren't familiar with the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner, we're a passenger train service that goes from San Diego all the way up to San Luis Obispo, including here through Orange County. And we travel about 351 miles, serve 27 stations, and go to a lot of just amazing destinations up and down the coast in California.
Right, right. Now some people might say, oh, you know, I could get there a lot faster if I take the freeway, but many times that is not the case because of traffic.
Definitely, I think that's a great point, and one of the selling features of taking the train. While it isn't always the fastest form of transportation, it is much more predictable than driving. And you know, especially going through downtown LA, if you're trying to get up to Santa Barbara or points north of there, the train is definitely on a lot of days a faster, but more importantly, a more relaxing and much more pleasant way to get from point A to point B.
Right.
And we can talk a little bit about that too, how great it is on board the train,
Yes.
and how much better than sitting in your car and driving in traffic.
Well, it is. Now, don't give me a description of sort of what people can look forward to when they are on the train. I mean, there's different types of where you sit, right?
Exactly, and I think, I mean, you can see in the background some of the photos from on board the train, but we have really spacious reclining seats. We have tables so you can sit with your family and friends, play cards, play with your grandkids, as you can see in
bridge.
Play bridge, duplicate bridge even. So, you know, it's just a much more relaxing way to go. You have the freedom to get up and walk around. We have a cafe car on board where you can buy snacks and light meals. And beer, wine, and cocktails if you're so inclined, which you can't do while you're driving for sure.
That's right. Oh, look, they're showing it now.
Yeah, there you go. And just, you know, big picture windows to enjoy the view.
Yeah.
You know, if you would like, we also have free onboard Wi-Fi, so you can stay connected while you're on the train. Power outlets at every seat. You can take your bicycle on board the train for free if you'd like to get off and ride it when you get to your destination. So it's just really a very relaxing, fun way to travel, and you get to see views that you don't see from the car.
That's right. That's right. Right along the ocean. I mean, I've been on the train so many times to Santa Barbara, and it really is nice, even though it takes a while because you're doing all of the stops. But then I'm not getting frustrated. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, I can't stand the traffic. So I would agree that that's really nice. Let's talk about what, you know, what's the closest station to our folks here in Laguna Woods?
Sure. So you're really fortunate here in Laguna Woods. You have two Pacific Surfliner stations almost equidistant from Laguna Woods. So the two closest would be in Irvine and San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
So depending on if you were heading south towards San Diego, you probably want to go to San Juan Capistrano, or north to LA and Santa Barbara, you'd probably want to leave from the Irvine station. But both are very convenient to Laguna Woods. Both have parking on site, and it's easy to get in and out to take the train from either location.
Okay, let's, there are new engines, because somebody told me that they live near the train station. They said the new engines are so quiet.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, I'm glad they've
they
noticed
noticed.
that. Yeah, we did actually introduce new locomotives for the trains, and those are the things that pull the train and push it depending on the direction you go. But we introduced new clean burning Siemens locomotives that are manufactured by a German company called Siemens.
Yes.
And they are much quieter than our older locomotives, and much cleaner as well. So it's really a benefit to our riders and to the residents along the tracks, and I'm glad that they're noticing the difference. So
they are,
yeah, we've been implementing those over the last several months, and we'll continue to roll them out. And we're also hoping they'll be much more reliable as well, so we'll have fewer mechanical issues and that sort of thing.
All right, good. Let's talk about the specials. First, let's start off with the specials for our seniors, because those are the folks that are watching our program. What do you have for them?
So we have a few kind of ongoing discounts for the Pacific Surfliner, and you can find all these on our website, pacificsurfliner.com.
Right.
But we have a everyday discount for seniors age 62 and older, so it's a 15% discount off our lowest fare. And that's available every day of the year.
Right.
So it's really a great deal, and kind of a good base discount that that seniors who are 62 and older can take advantage of.
Okay. Is that also on both seats where you have the you know, because you can have a reserved seat too, right?
Yeah, so and we can talk about that a little too. There are two classes of service on board our trains. There's an unreserved coach service, which is still a great, very comfortable reclining seat, and then we have a business class service, which is a small surcharge, and you have a reserved seat, a little more leg room, the service of a dedicated attendant on the train, and then you also get some snacks and beverages included in your fare.
Okay.
So the senior fare is good on kind of the base discount. You can still upgrade that to the business class fare.
Okay, great. Great.
So we have that fare every day, and then we have a couple limited time promotions that are really great deals. We have one right now, a midweek promotion. So if you travel with us Monday through Thursday, we have a little bit more capacity on our trains than on the weekends. You can, if you buy one full adult fare or senior fare, you can travel with a companion for half off.
Okay, that's great.
And that's
wow.
good. Our entire route from San Diego to San Luis Obispo, Monday through Thursday.
Okay, great. And then just, I wanted to also point out that there are other specials too, but they can go on to pacificsurfliner.com to get those as well. Like I know there's a Disneyland one, and then an Angels one too, right?
Yeah, we have a few other ones. We've partnered with some of the great places there are to visit in Orange County and Southern California. So I'll mention real quick the Disney one. So we have a Disneyland resort promotion ongoing right now through the end of May that offers both a savings on Disneyland resort tickets. If you use your Pacific Surfliner reservation number, you get 5% off regular Disneyland prices, which may not seem like a lot, but anyone who knows Disneyland knows that they really don't discount tickets.
No,
so it's a great deal. And plus kids ride free on the train tour from Anaheim. So it's a great way to take the grandkids and have a day at Disneyland. And when you get to the train station, we have a free transfer from the train station
I was
that
going to
drops
ask
you
you
off.
about that. Fantastic.
Yeah, drops you off right at the front door of the resort.
That's got to beat the parking there, so that's
Definitely,
excellent.
yes.
All right, well, thank you so much for the information. I really appreciate you coming in, and we will help promote this and get more people on the train.
Great,
All right,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
And remember, get out of your car and get on the Pacific Surfliner because it's really a fun ride. We'll be right back.
Are you considering cremation? Pacific Cremation Society offers simple and affordable cremation plans. Why do families choose us? Simple and affordable, discounted membership pricing, chartered memorials at sea, expert service and compassionate care, free advanced planning guide and consultation. Call now for your free planning guide.
When I was first diagnosed, they gave me about 2 years to live.
After they took it out, they did some additional tests and it found out that yes, it was a cancerous tumor.
I had an aorta dissection and that triggered a stroke on top of it.
I've been in treatment a little over 2 years. They saved my life.
If I hadn't been pregnant, they would not have found that mass. If it hadn't been for Ben, I might not be here.
It was amazing that he has knowledge to do what he has to do to save me.
Our movie coming up for Friday is a documentary called Between Land and Sea. And it introduces the audience to the surfing on the wild Atlantic coast of West Ireland. Filmed in and around the County Clare area near the spectacular cliffs of Moher, the film shows how Ireland has become a prime surfing location, which I never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed, but I bet that water's cold.
I bet it's got to be very cold.
And, you know, and then
yes.
it's not any fun, at least not for me, because boy, having all that
Yeah.
wetsuit stuff on.
But I guess it's a huge culture there, and this came out last year. It's about an hour and a half, so that'll be our Friday
Looks
movie.
beautiful. You know,
It
to have
does.
all that
It looks
scenery.
really nice. Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. Monday's movie is called The Public, and it's an act of civil disobedience turns into a standoff with police when homeless people in Cincinnati take over the public library to seek shelter from the bitter cold. Wow, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that. And that has Alec Baldwin, Taylor Schilling, and Emilio Estevez. And this is 2019.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. That sounds pretty
Yeah, I
interesting.
haven't heard about this movie either, but
All right,
this
yep.
will be coming up on Monday.
Yep, perfect.
Yes.
All right, what else do we have?
Well, of course, the Aquadettes are having their event, their Aqua Folly show, and that will be this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday over at Pool 1 at 8 o'clock. And if you would like tickets, you can get them either at the Clubhouse 1, 2, 5, or 7, right here in the community center by going to the Recreation Department, online at aquadettes.com, or you may call or text 949-246-6593, and it's $7 for tickets. So as far as I know, all the nights are still available. I haven't been told either way, so give it a try, and I know at least one of the performances will be available, I'm sure. So that's coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Pool 1.
That's so fun. I remember when I was interviewing those ladies. They're just adorable, and they have so much fun, and their costumes are great.
Yeah.
One thing that we forgot to tell you earlier with Tim Moy is that at the Earthquake Expo, he wanted me to remind you that there's going to be free food. So make sure you come on out, have some free food, and test out that 8.0 earthquake. Yeah. Which first? Do you test the earthquake one or eat?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the earthquake first.
Yeah, probably, huh? Yeah.
All right, the weather, we are cooling off a little for the next few days, probably by 5 degrees at least today, which is nice. We might get a little morning fog here and there, which is great as well. And as you can see, we're all dropping down into the mid-80s, and actually a little bit below that. Going back up Friday and Saturday, I think that humidity is going to be back with us as we get to Sunday and Monday of this coming weekend, and the temperatures will rise up as well. So I don't think it's quite as bad as what it was this past weekend, but still a little warm up. Here we are around the county, and you can see we have some really nice weather right now. The beaches are hovering 79, so they're staying relatively cool. Everywhere else in the mid to upper 80s, so you know, for the end of August, this is not bad at all. Palm Springs, well, that's Palm Springs.
Yeah.
110.
You know, I'm wondering, are we expecting a heat wave anytime? It seems like it's coming.
I don't know.
We just keep thinking
it keeps
it's
coming
come,
later
right?
and later each year. So I think in September.
Poor kids, you know, when they go back to school, it's all hot.
Yeah.
All right, so tomorrow we have Auto Nation, the Senior Center, Reform Temple, and then we have John Forsythe, who is the president of the Pacific Symphony. So
yeah,
sounds good.
That'll be good.
Have a good day in the village. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.